Yeah.
I'm sure he would too.
And so that's where I get very little sleep when they're here. And then at the same essence, I'm getting little sleep when they go away because then things will
Act up a bit.
Yeah.
So here's my work. So we're gonna have a formal interview, and he's gonna ask some questions, and I'm gonna ask some questions. It's gonna be stuff we've already covered, but it's really more for our students.
Okay.
And then we're gonna talk about what we're going through. We're gonna look for phenomena to show up on the footage, and at the end of it, we're gonna go through some protection stuff. Okay?
Okay.
We should show the picture. Do we have access to our binder?
Oh yeah.
Let's get.
I have that photo too.
Okay, but I think it'd be cool if we showed it. Yeah, these are all normal
Yeah.
little kid drawings.
And then
and here
there's this one. And so while you're looking at that,
A young child who had a description of a spirit that they saw and encountered, and their experience of how they encountered that spirit, and this is what they drew, and how they described it was essentially, it had no face. What does that say there? This is young child writing. This is hard to wear.
I can read it.
Pinkish gray
Yeah,
color.
pinkish gray color. No face. No leg under the knee. So it clearly had all the obvious deformities we see when we have spectral apparitions forming, especially dark force entity types. We're here at our client Sherry's house, just doing a follow-up interview. This is our maybe third year on this case, trying to help this family. And we just recently had a breakthrough today. Maybe, Sadhuda, you'd like to go into that a little bit.
Yeah, so just brief backstory here. When we first encountered Sherry, she was getting pinpricks and being fed on, and there would be things that would disappear, dematerialize, and then reappear in places that they clearly were not originally lost at. And we had a lot of documented phenomena, tons of pictures and video, and we've been working with her for some time, and we've had a good amount of success in reducing the phenomena. And then we at one point had a diabolical, malevolent entity that was growling audibly in the closet, and that was kind of the highest peak of phenomena. But things have been mostly quiet for a while now, until we were made aware that some of the phenomena was happening again, with Sherry, the client, being pinpricked and experiencing essentially what some would say certain conditions of neuropathy, with unexplained origin, as to whether it's paranormal or not. That's something we've been trying to rule out, or ascertain, to get a baseline. But upon actually interviewing the two young children, the granddaughters, we were able to find that for the past couple years now, one of them had been experiencing a sensation of being watched and felt very uncomfortable. They've both made descriptions to their grandmother about seeing, shadows, and one specific encounter, which was a pretty thorough description of an entity that they had seen. And when this was brought up, she immediately started crying.
Which was a tell.
Yeah, and it was a very emotional experience for her, rightfully so.
Being influenced, essentially.
And so what the makeup that we were kind of coming to was that this entity's main target was the young child, and was either using a combination of feeding on Sherry, the grandmother, to fuel the
influence and attacks.
Yeah, the influence and attacks on the child, or it was also in combination or separately doing it as a diversion to focus without attention on the child, by attacking.
So 2 things before we get into the interview. Let's shift the camera so Sherry can be visible a little bit. Okay. Yeah. And what are we looking at down here? Maybe can you explain a little bit as to what?
Okay. So what we have down here right now is we have seven yellow candles, which are used in Mahasuing type Thai ritual, and also is a general setup for when you're doing what's called a pompoi, which is like a flower bath. There will usually be some sort of candle ceremony to start. There is a little bit of graveyard dirt for the natural inherent powers and properties of that.
Local graveyard dirt.
Local graveyard dirt, which was relevant in one of the times that we came out here, but that's for another day. We also have a Maikru Lersi head Biku wand. We have some holy white string that's been consecrated, and this is kind of used as a circuit and conduit. And then we have candied lilac, and we also have some sandalwood incense. And so this is a general construction of a ritual that's going to help aid in cleansing some of the energies from the home.
And exposing phenomena if it's present.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's also going to kind of enhance the natural energies as it's driving certain energies not in alignment out, while you're going to be, if I'm understanding correctly, you're going to be doing some Qigong work.
Yeah, we're going to do some Qigong breath work initially. But I think we should let Sherry tell her story.
Yes.
What's interesting about today is the twin granddaughters had been spending the weekend here, and they've shown, one of them in particular that you were recently talking about has shown emotions of feeling somebody or something is watching her. We have to go around even if it's daylight like this and shut all the curtains, because she has a strong feeling that something is looking inside and watching. No, I would say she was speaking more like Russia or Germany.
Is there any reason that would be the case?
No, not at all. It was just a totally different, almost like a different accent, different words.
How long has that been occurring?
I would probably say maybe the last month.
We need to nip that in the bud right now.
And she would start trying to explain something, and I could sense where she wanted to go, but then she would start getting choked up and crying, getting teary-eyed first, and then she would start saying, I don't know why I'm crying, but I can't handle it, but I don't understand why I'm crying.
These influences, there's a name for them. They're called core images, and what they do is, while these children are sleeping, they'll mentally insert themselves into their dream time, and I don't need to go into the details, but it's not great.
Like programming.
Yeah. There are certain ways you can tell if you watch them sleeping, and they have open-eyed, rapid eye movement, so it looks something like this. That's a sign. Have you seen that?
I have seen that.
Yeah.
In fact, I would leave a camera on, and I would see the other one just sit up, almost like in a zombie state.
That's it, yeah.
And her eyes
transition.
were open, and she would kind of almost like in a rolling effect where she would look up and to the side, and it would just back and forth, and she would do that for a little bit, and then just all of a sudden lay down and be right back sound asleep with less than a minute.
Om Dam Daragay Namah. Om Dam Daragay Namah. Atsam Mitu Lopusa Pupa, 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 Atsam Mitu Lopusa Pupa. Papu Sapalo Suisin 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 Atsam Mitu Lopusa Pupa, Papu Sapalo Suisin
Your brain was clouded by the attacks. Don't feel bad.
Yeah.
They literally shut down your ability to think. You're just as much of a victim here. So-
I agree with that, because if I,
Mhm.
there has been many times that I have tried to send you or you as well,
Really?
or anyone, a message for help. And the moment that I start writing anything out,
Disassociation.
yeah,
Mhm.
my something, and
Okay.
I could sense
It's
it,
not
I
your
could
fault.
feel it, and all of a sudden everything goes blank. It's in my head.
Mhm.
I know what I'm wanting to
But
say.
they won't let you ask for help.
It won't let
Um,
me get it out, or if I start to write words, they're looking like I'm dyslexic, or I'm
Right.
just putting letters together and almost like I was writing
Mental
in a
fog.
blank.
I do recall about a year ago we'd gotten a message from Sherry, and
It was kind of jarbled, right?
yeah, it was. Yeah,
Kinda
I
jarbled.
do remember that.
Okay.